Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. As y'all saw, I put the thumbnail up. Fury is happy. The first bid did go through. But we're going to get into that and we're going to have grown woman talk tonight. Y'all fellas are welcome to stay behind and listen to the ladies chop it up. But let's turn to welcome back. Y'all almost caught me dancing over here. Anyway, y'all know at the beginning of the show, I always do a water check, water check, water check. I'm up to 11. Can you believe it, Demetrius? 11 bottles of this. That means when I'm done, it's going to be 88 ounces. And then I have one more. That makes 12, 96. And I could do two more after that before I lay it down. Well, Demetrius Bright is in the building. Salute, Queen T. 91 ounces. Look at my boy. My dude, my brother. uh, shout out to you, Demetrius. You own it. You own it. How does the water make you feel? Like, are you at that level where you're not always going to the bathroom? Like a lot of people will not drink water because they don't like the fact that you go to the bathroom a lot. Are you past that? You should be, but are you past that stage? I would tell you guys, I can't put a specific time on how long that will take, but I can tell you that, in my opinion, no more than 2 weeks. I mean, maybe less than that. You're gonna be using the bathroom a lot when you start drinking water, but eventually it's gonna level out, and you're gonna go back to using it as your regular times that you was, the regular frequency of when you used to use it before you start drinking water. It amazes me that a lot of people in America do not drink a lot of water. And then I heard that they put out that you don't have to give babies water. So I was like, what? Only thing that make me say about that is because when you talk about animals, like you could take a baby cat, they wouldn't really drink water. Even if you try to feed it, they wouldn't drink it. They'll wean us, but they don't stay on the milk that long, so they wean their own self off. Dogs too, other animals. Once they done with the milk, then they go to water. Just real simple transition. So that there might be something to that. But I look at it like if you're a mammal, you should have water up in you. Your body, no matter how big or small, is approximately 70% water. So Demetria say, past that stage, I graduated. There you go, King. There you go. Now, even though it's redundant, y'all work with me because I got to talk to the people in the back. Drink your water. If you're not going to drink water, like on the scale that we're trying to reach here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate 100 ounces at least a day. 100 ounces at least a day. 128 ounces is a gallon. Shout outs to my Facebookers. You guys come on over into the YouTube, into my channel, and chop it up with us in the chat. You could beam in, you could call in. Matter of fact, let me put my banners up. But shout outs to you. You know, I can see you guys, but I can't see you individually until after the show. So come on in and please like, share, and subscribe. Real easy. Take a half a second. Fade away back to water. And it's redundant. I get it. But there's somebody's watching that probably haven't heard this. So I got to speak to that person. So when you go to sleep in the morning, and when you go to sleep and then you wake up in the morning, you need to drink some water. Just think of your body as an engine. Get the lube running. The water is the lube. Just get the engine started. Get it running. Okay. When you go to sleep at night, there's a lot that's going on. I'm not talking about when you have naps. I'm talking about when you actually sleep and go through the 4 or 5 phases of sleep. Real sleep. You want to know what those are? You can geek it out and Google it. You'll learn that how significant it is. But go through those phases of sleep. If you're going to sleep, you drink 8 ounces of water before you go to sleep. It's needed. It's a lot of work being done. You burn the most calories when you sleep, believe it or not. So if you don't drink 100 ounces of water, Miss T is basically saying at least drink 8 ounces in the morning and 8 ounces before you go to sleep at night. At least do that. Hit the like and share and subscribe as y'all come in. Hook me up. Facebook, because I see you. I see y'all in there. I see you. Come on into the YouTube. You can do it real easy. Hit the live icon and it'll bring you right here. And you can hit the like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't done it before. If you subscribe before, you only have to do it once. But hit the like button. It helps me with my algorithms. Hook a sister up. Now I'm going to say this too. I put this out yesterday. So I'm going to start saying in the beginning of the show and at the end, I am giving away a free 55-inch Samsung Smart TV. But I ain't doing it till I get 1,200 subscribers. And I will mail it to you if you're in the 48. And I told you, if you Alaska, Hawaii, Caribbeans, U.S. territories, if you're not in the 48, I can't afford the mail because that's gonna be a big bill in itself. So I'm gonna basically, when I get to 1,200, you guys will remind me. I'm gonna ask a couple of questions that if you watch Boxing Fans Talk TV, you're gonna know the answer. It's not gonna be no trick questions. It's gonna be like 3 questions. I ain't hammered out how I'm gonna do it exactly, but it's gonna be like that. I got the TV downstairs. I actually had a raffle locally here for Christmas, keeping with the Christmas spirit. Nobody won. I still got it downstairs. I don't need it. I got plenty of TVs in this house. I don't need it. Brand new, never been opened, and 55-inch. Now, let's say if it's get to be almost a year that I've had it, then I probably just give it away. But if I get up to 1,200 subscribers and I ask those 3 questions, when I complete the 3rd question, is then and only then, because I'm a time stamp it. I'm looking at my time. Like right now, it's 7:41. So when I get to the 3rd question and I get it out, then I'm like, now it's 7:41. So if you send me an email that say 7:40 or 7:39, you don't count. But if your email says 7:41 and forward, and you got like probably an hour, because I'm not gonna ask no hard questions. It's just you gotta type fast. You gotta type fast. And I might have requirements like you actually gotta type the sentence, the actual question out. I may not. I might just say, just give me the answers. I don't know. We'll know when we get there. but I do have that TV to give away. You said, as you come into the building, smash the like, share, and subscribe. Exactamundo, Demetrius. Exactamundo, as he said. But keep drinking y'all water. Keep drinking y'all water. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about boxing stuff, this stuff that's coming up, and then we're gonna get off into grown woman talk. Y'all know that's how I do on Fridays. And today we're just gonna get an update from government workers. What's the state of the union status as far as vaccination stuff, and we may talk about some other stuff. Let me look up this because I want to give y'all the boxing schedule because it keeps changing and everything. With the biggest thing today is that Fury and them had their purse bid is done, and Fury's happy about it. He's about to get paid, not as much as he would have fighting Deontay, but paid nonetheless. So the fights that's coming up and going forward. So like starting tomorrow, Conseco versus Martinez. That will be on ESPN at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Makavu versus Machuno. That's on Fight TV tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If y'all interested in looking at how Makabu go get down, then maybe you want to watch that fight because he's a potential opponent for Canelo. Canelo making his rounds on his gentrification rounds. Eubank Jr. Versus Williams on Sky Sports February 5th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All of these are Eastern Standard Time, so I'm going to stop saying that. Shields versus Cousin on Sky Sports Fight TV February 5th at 3 p.m. Thurman versus Barrios on Fox pay-per-view February 5th at 9 p.m. So that's pay-per-view. And Vargas versus Smith on the Zone February 5th at 9 p.m. Rungvisai versus Kudros on the Zone February 5th at 9 p.m. Jacobs versus Ryder on the Zone February 12th at 2 p.m. Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. That's one we probably want to see. Maybe. ESPN, I'll look at it because it's free. February 19th at 2 p.m. Munguia versus Ballard, the Zone, February 19th at 9 p.m. I could catch that one too. Taylor versus Catterall on Sky and ESPN Plus. I can catch that one February 26th at 2 p.m. Colbert versus Gutierrez, Showtime, February 26th. I'll watch it. It ain't costing me. But if it had a price, no. Coley versus C-Slack. He be fighting these people with these. I don't know where these people be from, but Coley, I think he's a UK fighter. Is on the Zone February 27th at 2 p.m. I may catch it. I'm not pressed. Ramirez versus Jose Pedraza, ESPN Plus, March 4th. If you got the app, ESPN Plus is not a pay-per-view, so I might catch that. Martinez versus Chocolatito. Remember that was moved, and also Estrada was replaced. It came out later that Estrada had COVID. So at first they didn't say why he pulled out. They just say he pulled out. We now know that's what they saying anyway. The dreaded COVID strikes again. Martinez versus Chocolatito on the Zone, March 5th. Lara versus Sanchez on the Zone, March 5th at 9 p.m. I'm sorry, going back to Chocolatito, that's 9 p.m. March 5th also. So I guess they're on the same card. Wood versus Conlon is on the Zone March 12th at 2 p.m. Ortiz Jr. versus McKenzie on the Zone March 19th. That's Virgil Ortiz, y'all, the welterweight. McKenzie, he's going to be fighting him on the Zone. He's Oscar's fighter. That's March 19th at 9 p.m. March 19th. Berlanga versus Rose, ESPN. That's a free fight, March 19th at 10 p.m. And Martinez versus Warrington 2 on the Zone, March 26th, 2 p.m. There's some fights moving to the Zone. I mean, in March, because remember when I was first reading the schedule, I was like, March is boring as hell. March is gonna be a boring ass month, but it's turning out that they trying to move some good fights in there. Okay. Yeah, he said Fury 32 million, White 8.2, but White wants 10 million. Does he really want the fight? Um, I think he's gonna take it. I'll be pleasantly surprised because I don't care either way if he takes it or not, but I'll be surprised. I was on here advocating for taco meat, Demetrius, believe it or not, talking about White. Why is Valpez scared to sign a contract with Shakur? Because he know, and also y'all, when I put the link, I'm gonna put the link because I know I had a long monologue yesterday, but I was talking about gentrification. I think I put it up there anyway. Let me see. Yeah, I did. Um, if y'all had something to chime in from anything that we talked about this week, feel free, bring it up. So that's exactly what I was gonna get into, Demetrius. So Fury and White, they got their purse bid. The total purse bid was for 41 million. Is the fight going down in April? Is at Principality Stadium in Cardiff, Wales. Why is that important? Because we know that Fury is banned from fighting in the UK, England to be exact. However, Wales is one of them tricky things. I know, and I ain't gonna say English law, but somewhere in the 20th century, it was dubbed that, I want to say, what, Queen Elizabeth's uncle. I think it started with him. Um, Whoever became the king was automatic the Prince of Wales. Wales is a territory that's close to England, but it's not England. Wales used to have their own monarchy, royalty, and everything. They kind of fell off, but I don't know if they're a territory of England, but they're not England. So him being banned from fighting in England is still the case. Wales, even though you keep hearing like the Prince of Wales is all one, they hand to hand, some kind of way they have their own autonomy. So it would be like China claims Taiwan, but Taiwan said they're independent. Or it'll be like us trying to say Puerto Rico like belong to us, like each one of the states in the United States. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory; it's not a state. So a lot of things when it comes to rules, policies, and regulations, when it comes to what a state has to do, some of that shit might not all the way apply to Puerto Rico. If you get my drift, because I'm gonna tell you, and I know people be like, you don't know, Miss T, come on now. Because I can tell you right now, yes, because I can tell you this. There was a time when the military used to shoot their missiles and like shoot off the battleships and shoot their missiles and shit off in Puerto Rico, certain parts of Puerto Rico. Now, because it's a U.S. territory, they could do it. But you think, name me the state that America could have did that to. I'll wait. You won't be able to think of one state. So that's when I'm talking about Wales, because I don't want nobody to think that he beat his case because he's fighting in Wales. I don't know if Wales is a territory of England. I just know that somewhere in the 20th century, and I believe it was with uh Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth's uncle, who was the king at first before he abdicated. I believe it started with him, maybe his father, that you would be dubbed the Prince of Wales. There hasn't been that many Prince of Wales in English history. Or it could go back further. I could be off because that was just something I learned a long time ago. But it wasn't always like that. I'm just saying like this. Wales has his own autonomy. And Wales was his own, it was his own independent place. They had their own royalty and everything. And some kind of way over the years, it could even shit. I be thinking now, is it Queen Elizabeth uncle, or was it uh um what's that dude name? Edward, King Edward, whichever one of those Edwards, because it was like six of them, which or more than that. I think it was six of them. Don't give me the line, but somewhere in not too long ago, if you was a prince the pending prince, like Prince Charles is now, old as hell. He is the Prince of Wales. So Tyson Fury, that was a good strategic move right there, because he's back over there for his fight. The good thing about it is for him is they're on their timeline. His fans from the UK can mosey right on over there instead of trying to come all the way over here to the US or go somewhere where it's just too much of a cost, or COVID issues or whatever. They can easily just mosey right to Wales, and he'll have the support or fanfare that he wants. So he got what he wants. As Demetrius stated, it'll be a 32.8 to a 8.2 million split, meaning 32.8 million is what Tyson Fury is going to receive, and 8.2 million is what Taco Meat, aka Dillian White, is going to receive. And it's going to be on ESPN for now. And I say for now because they haven't decided yet that it is going to be a pay-per-view. Now, why Tyson is happy and giddy and smiling all over the place and cutting the jig is because Frank Warren, his co-promoter, is the one who won the purse bid, not Eddie, not Bob. Have y'all noticed that when things go to purse bid, Bob is content with being the lowest bidder? He never wins purse bids. Unless I'm wrong, somebody tell me, but he never wins a purse bid ever. Bob is a miser. Y'all remember that program I did when I described Bob like Scrooge, the Christmas Carol? He really is. He embodies that. Bob ain't spending no money. But right now, like I said, it's not a pay-per-view. Make no mistake, it's big for England. It's big for England. Because they have a big gypsy following. Now, to Demetrius' question, will White get 10 million? I can see he getting that because that is the purse bid. They're gonna get back money if they do pay-per-view. They're gonna get some back pay. Trust me, some kind of way they're gonna get the gate. It's gonna be a gate to be talked about. Like the people, they got to get a share of that too. This is what they're guaranteed, pretty much. But that's not counting the gate, the money it costs to see it on TV or what have you. But if it come on ESPN, none of us have to pay. They have to weigh in the fact neither one of them are a pay-per-view star in the States. Neither one. Neither one can make a lot of money on pay-per-view unless they fighting Wilder. It just ain't gonna happen. Dillian is very popular in England. He is. So people gonna really them English folks, they gonna fucking see that fight. And if they gotta pay to see it, they will. And their pay-per-view is cost effective. We be paying 70, 80, damn near $100 for pay-per-view. They pay $15, $10, maybe even less than that. Lord, imagine if we could have prices like that. Hell, we'll be happy with $20. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it is what it is. It is what it is. It's gonna be a good thing for them. I'm happy for them. I don't have no hate for them. I don't like them. I do kind of have hate for Fury. I don't like Dillian because he's a cheater. I don't like cheaters, but I don't like Fury for so many other more reasons than just cheating. I just can't. I think he's bad for boxing. They should have ran his ass up out of there. But he's happy, so I'm happy for him. He's still banned. Let that be clear. He is still banned. Smash the like button, y'all. He's still banned from fighting over there, and the time zone favors him. The silver lining for this, if Dillian chooses to look at it like that, because I'm a person who likes to find the silver lining in things. I like to look at the glass half full, not half empty. Now, they originally offered Dillian this fight for $5.5 million. Now, of course, to me and you guys, that's a lot of money. even when you think of how we feel about Dillian White, which is nothing. We don't be checking for or be up on everything Taco Meat does. So 5.5, we like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But he felt that he should have got more. And I even spoke to that. Like, he is his own advocate. If he feels he should get more, he shouldn't devalue himself. He should want more. If he feel like it's worth him getting more, then hey, who is me or any of us to tell him he wrong? So I don't even get on that type of time. 5.5, I just think it's a good payday, and that's all I'm gonna say to that. But he wanted more, and if he did, I ain't mad at him for feeling that way or even trying to get it. But he was like, at least start at 10 and let's negotiate up. I guess that's how Taco Meat felt. And Bob was like, hell no, because if we open it at 10, you the type nigga that he say nigga. That's me putting my stank on it for Bob. You the type nigga that if I give you an inch, you're gonna take a mile. That's how Bob felt about Dillian. And sure enough, Dillian probably will be that way. He do come off like kind of greedy. But if he's getting guaranteed 8.2 and then he's gonna get a cut, that 8.2 does not represent the gate, because you don't know what the gate gonna be. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what that is yet, and they don't know if they're gonna do pay-per-view. So every number is not represented. That's why I said, Demetrius, it is very possible he'll get to 10. He said, I'm starting to see your point, Miss T. Dillian has a great chance to upset Fury. He has more tools that Fury has to be cognizant. I can't even say it, cognizant of, as well as he is naturally a big heavyweight. Yeah. That, like, Fury, he's a cheater. I always say that. I know it sounds redundant. Cheaters on his level, they do the lick once. You know what I'm saying? You got penny handed cheaters, you got low level cheaters, penny handed criminals, and then you got top echelon criminals. And when it comes to cheating, Fury is in that category of top echelon. So once you do a lick, you can't repeat it. People have seen it. You can't keep repeating, and that's how he keep everybody confused. It's the same way as when people are dating, and I'm a woman, so I speak from a woman point of view, no male bashing. But if a man wants to lie and use a woman, and that's just how he get down, when he meet a woman just like him, that's on the same time that he is on, he don't want her. He want the goody two shoe. He want the wholesome woman, because how he gonna get over on somebody that's just like him? Cheaters and liars do not like people that's just like them. I'm telling you. I say that from experience. They do not like people who are just like them, because it's a battle royale. It's a battle of wits. You know what I'm saying? You'll be sitting there. Remember on Princess Bride when he said, I cannot clearly choose the glass in front of me, because you would think that I would put the glass in front of me, and therefore I cannot choose that. But then you may think that I will put the glass in front of you, so therefore I can't choose that either. But which glass am I? He was going back and forth, and the dude was like, just drink the drink. The dude outwitted him because he dealt with people like him. So what he do? For years, he developed a tolerance for that poison, and he poisoned both of them. So it didn't matter which one he picked, he was gonna be poisoned. See, this is what messing with a cheater. If you are a cheater and then you mess with another cheater, that's what happens. And Dillian knows, and Tyson knows how they get down. But most importantly, Tyson knows. So what You skin your gloves. Dillian gonna do it too. You ain't gonna complain because then he gonna say, look at yours. So what? You take some substance or whatever. Dillian will too. That's why he not gonna ask you to do a clean program. You would think that if the WBC has a clean program, how is Tyson Fury a representative of them when we know he doesn't get down like that? You see how any white man would do? See how they move the goalposts for the people that they need or want? Tyson, he could never be on that program. Ever. Because let's say he's not taking banned substance that will aid him in his sport activity, which is boxing. Let's say he's not taking clenbuterol, he's not taking steroids, he's not taking those type stuff. He is a known cocaine head. Known for that. It would not shock none of us in here if we found out he was dancing with the white powder. Wouldn't shock us. You can't take that either. And when VADA comes through to give their test yearly at any time, random times, this is something that they will be able to glean from him. That's how I know he ain't participating in that clean program. But yet, where's Mr. Cantone when it comes to that? Where's Mauricio Suleiman when it comes to that? Because I thought that if you belong to WBC, you all supposed to belong to the clean program, the clean drug testing program. But apparently you're not. Apparently you're not. So I was like, okay. All right. But Fury gonna be Fury. And y'all don't want to say nothing. But then look at Dillian. So Fury gonna turn around and be so hypocritical to say, hey, I want you on the clean drug program. I want you to be tested from the rooted to the tooted. And then they can turn around and be like, you too. Neither one of them neither one of them want that to be the case for either one. So that poses a danger. Because Fury know what he gonna do to cheat. He don't know what Dillian gonna do to cheat. Dillian ain't a little dude, and Dillian can box, and Dillian can hurt him. Just like Deontay can hurt him. Dillian actually got boxing skills. As everybody like to point out the fact that Deontay don't, but Dillian has always been a boxer. Demetrius said lions, tigers, bears. Oh my. Sugar Hair only had Fury to focus on, Wilder straight right. Whereas Dillian can throw a variety of punches. This fight has become interesting, but I think Fury will win. He probably would. He probably would, Demetrius. Hyphy said Wagawa. Wagawa. You got to let us in on it. What does that mean? If it means, what's up, Queen? Then I'm going to say, what's up, King? Wagawa. But that's the thing. And Fury has already shown that he was scared. At first, for the longest, I was like, oh, he's scared. And then I was like, you know what? It might have more to do with Fury not liking people to tell him what to do. Andrew Charles is in the building with Poppy King. He says, salute, Miss T. Salute. Hyphy and Andrew, I'm just talking about the fact that the purse bid is done. Fury is running around here like he all happy and cutting the jig because his co-promoter, Frank Warren, won the purse bid for $41 million, 32.8 going to Fury and 8.2 to Dillian White. But that fight is going to be on, and it's going to be in April. And it's going to be held in Wales, which is a whole nother country than England. We know that the prince or princess of England will always be dubbed the prince or princess of Wales. We know that. But Wales is its own autonomy. This does not change the fact that the ban is lifted. This just getting them in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? They are feverishly probably working behind the scenes, greasing palms, trying to uplift this man because they hoping that when he do go for those 3 belts, that all of that is done in England. I don't know, something feel like it's on my ear. My bad. That's why I keep doing that. They hoping. They want to do all this without going through the proper due process and adjudication of the case. So they're getting close, but Wales does not mean England. The ban is still there. So that's, if y'all don't take nothing away with this, take that. The ban is still there. They both getting a nice check. If it's nice to them, you know, if Dillian don't feel like it's enough, that's his, you know, I can't count that man money. Hyphy said Fury is a big winner in this scenario. Huge purse in exchange for very easy fight. I don't know, Hyphy. I don't know if it's gonna be so easy now. I really don't know, but I mean, we'll see. I'm not gonna break no kind of bread and nothing to see this fight. If the shit ain't on regular TV, I'll catch the highlights. I'm sure y'all, I would let y'all come in and be like, yo, so you tell us what happened. I ain't buying shit. Nada. Good for White, I guess. He been clamoring for a big fight for a while now. Yeah, I mean, I can say it's good for him. White felt like he needed, I don't know how much, 15 or more million. He needed double digit millions. But I'm like, White, when have you ever made that? You know, you and we always talking about base it on what your performances were before. Even though I'd be like, I don't really care about the money. Y'all could have told us about the money after the fact, but him or Fury they don't by themselves don't draw in pay-per-view. They just don't. They don't, you know. So now you got a double dose of that. But in England, yeah, they could. They could. And I know the fight, you know, the WBC belt is there. Because we all thought that Tyson was gonna drop the belt because he don't like to be told what to do. I even was trying to say I'll hold the money for you guys if you wanted to bet to see if he was gonna vacate the belt. But he didn't. He's happy that his side, because that means Eddie didn't get it. Because you know, if Eddie had got the purse bid, Eddie was gonna run that show like he wanted to run it. If Bob got the purse bid, which can't even say if Bob, because Bob would never do nothing like that. Bob still makes money even when he don't win the purse bid, because that's the promoter. So you have to pay your promoter a percentage, like 30%. So 30% of 32 mil is what, y'all? Let's just see how much old Bob Arum ass be making money. My calculator won't do the million part, so I gotta improvise. Mm, can't be. Like 25 million or something. Like 25 million is gonna go to the Fury, that is. Like Bob gonna get about 9 million or something like that. Hyphy says, so which underdog has the best chance at winning? White against Fury, Valdez against Shakur, or China? That's a good question. Let me take the first one. White against Fury. White has a chance. Between them two jokers, I'm gonna say 60-40, but I'm gonna edge Fury because he's just bigger. He can box, but just because he's just bigger. That's it. But because otherwise it could be a 50-50 to me with White and Fury. Valdez against Shakur, in my head, Shakur waxed his ass. He didn't beat his last fight, and Shakur would have waxed both of their ass. So to me, Shakur waxed him. Charlo against Canelo, I got Canelo. Not that I want to choose, but I don't like Canelo. But Charlo's on my shit list too. And I only say that because Charlo has bent over backwards for Canelo, and that's not the mindset you gotta have. And if he been doing it for years, so it's not. So if somebody said, "Well, he could cut it off," leading up to the fight, he don't have to be like that, blah blah blah. He been doing it for years. You've been doing it so much, it's muscle memory. You've been kissing his ass so long, it's muscle memory on that shit. So I got Canelo. Andrew said it's about 9 mil. Yep, 9.6 or something like that. And that's what they gotta pay Bob. And out that 9 mil, I had the percentages. Why am I drawing a blank? The sanctioning body's gonna get, like, why are we counting that money? But okay. What was it? Is it 30% or 10%? I want to say 30%. This, the sanctioning body gets a percentage of the fight as well. Now, if let's say you don't make that much, the minimums were like $7,000, but it's a percentage, and that means everybody in Fury's team, like the trainer, the corner, the people in the corner when he has to fight, everybody, and I think they paid 3%. I think the trainer pays 10, and might be a little bit more for Fury himself. He has to pay Mauricio Sulaiman. Bob Arum has to pay Mauricio Sulaiman. And Fury's got to pay that money that like Floyd was gonna pay because he makes more. That's what was going to happen. On that note, still waiting for the ladies to get in, but that is what was going to happen, and so that's a lot of money. Not to mention Dillian White, he has to pay a percentage, and his trainer, and Eddie Hearn. Guess who's the fat cat in this one who ain't did a damn thing? Mauricio Sulaiman. Hyphy said sanctioning fees is 3%. I think it's for the corner. I think it's a little bit more for the actual fighter and the promoter. I used to have them numbers in front of me, but I think it's a little bit more. I think 3% was something like what they were charging the people in that corner. That's crazy. They got a racket for sure. Smash the like button when you come in. Smash the like button when you come in. Not sure where the ladies at. Waiting on them. But let me see. Hold on. Let me text. They gonna pop up. Hold tight, y'all. Hold tight. Hold tight. Mm-hmm. Thank y'all for being patient. Smash the like button. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. They should be happy. He should get business out the way, and then from there he can go on and fight the winner of AJ and Usyk. Now Eddie, because I guess Tyson Fury is over there cutting the jig or acting a fool on social media. So Eddie Hearn is like, hold tight. Wait a minute. Don't be trying to act like you some straight up G. He basically saying you laughing and stuff, but you the same person who you wanted to tune up before you fought Usyk. You didn't want to fight Dillian, but you wanted to tune up before you fought Usyk or a tomato can of some sort. You didn't want to fight Dillian. You the same person, and now that your co-promoter got the deal, what you happy about? So slow your roll. You got about a couple of fights left. As I was saying yesterday, Tyson Fury birthday is in April. He's gonna be 35. And in the boxing world, that's old. And coupled with the fact that this dude has been a habitual drug user and alcoholic. Miss T, you were correct on Andre being able to challenge Canelo. 168 according to WBO rules. Also, Andrade is moving up without dropping his belt at 168. I mean 160. Look, I'm tongue tied. And I want to make a correction. Yesterday I kept saying Charlo when I was trying to say Canelo, and I was saying WBA when I should have been saying WBO. I was just in the heat of moment. So I think some of y'all got what I was saying and y'all was rolling with it. Thank you, Demetrius, for looking into that. I thought that was the case. Charlo will probably he because he's not undisputed, he cannot go directly to Canelo if Canelo doesn't want it. But what Charlo can do is he can fight whoever they was trying to get him to fight. Andrade, but Andrade and Parker, I think is a done deal. Or I don't know if that is that fight is solidified, but Canelo is looking for a dance partner. Andrade wants it. What is the hold up? I don't get it. You're a WBO champ, Canelo. He's a WBO champ in the weight class under you. What's the problem? PGH Big Dog is in the building. Was popping, King? Salute, Queen T. Hyphy said, laugh out loud. We didn't AJ want a tune-up by even considering a step aside fee. Yeah, not that AJ wanted it. Tyson Fury wanted a tune-up. Not AJ. This is why Eddie is like blasting Tyson, like, don't cut a jig yet. Remember, you the same motherfucker that wanted to fight a tomato can before you fought Usyk. I don't know why he knows that, because it's not like Eddie Hearn is Usyk's manager. But Usyk, remember I was telling y'all all this yesterday. Usyk and Tyson was trying to cut a deal behind the scenes. Tyson is notorious for putting the cart before the horse. He did that with what's his name, Deontay, and the arbitration was going on, and he was trying to cut a deal with AJ. Y'all remember that? They even came back out and admitted they all but had the fight done, but you can't make a move until the arbitration is done. And when the arbitration came out, it wasn't in your favor, so you had no choice. You went to that fight kicking and screaming. Because one thing Tyson Fury doesn't do, he don't defend his belts. That's the history of that. He only did it once, and that's the trilogy that he did not want to fight Deontay. He went into that fight kicking and screaming. It's the only time he ever defended a belt. PGH Big Dog said Andrade does terrible business. He ain't getting a big fight, wasting his career. He probably do. I would say this. Demetri said salute at PGH. PGH, I don't know. I don't know what we can use to qualify good or bad, because he another one. Like, we don't agree with his move. I'm with you with that, but at the same time, he's a millionaire now. And before he got with Eddie, I don't know if he was. People were avoiding him then. That's why Eddie got him. People still avoiding him. Some people in life are not going to be great at business. They're just not. They're just not. They would do better to work for somebody, even though we could tell people all day, every day, it's better to own your own shit and work for yourself. Some people don't have the fortitude or tenacity or whatever it takes to do such things. Some people, and that might be Demetrius. He may be great in the ring and great in other areas, but when it comes to that, he may not be. But he did okay for himself. He won't have the career that he deserved or should have had, but he got the money. He got enough. And maybe, I know money ain't everything, but for him, you know what I'm saying? Smash the like button. Smash it. Smash the likes and shares and subscribe to Movement Steve videos algorithm. I appreciate you, Demetrius. Thank you. I'm gonna tell you guys, when I get off, it be so many people. Like yesterday, how many people we be having in here on average, Demetrius? What it look like? And I mean, I will get off with you guys, go to the studio, and there's 50 something people who was in the building. I'm telling you guys. And it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I would like it to be more, and it was getting up there, but I don't know. It could be football. I'm competing with other things, whatever. But I like what I do. And I do help people, especially with my wellness show. So I'm good. I speak the truth. I say what I know and learn. I like what I do. So I look at it like that. Even if I can help one or help somebody, there's casuals that watch me on Facebook, like all my friends. I don't share my Facebook with Boxing Fans Talk TV followers. I have IG for that because I don't do I do boring shit on Facebook. Smash the like button, y'all. Smash that mug. Um, I do boring shit. You know, I don't do social media in no kind of negative or non-positive way. That's not me. So I don't, Facebook is keep up with people from the Navy that live all over the world and my family. That's all I use Facebook for. So I got IG, up until I started this channel, which was last year, I never even had IG. I never had no other social media. I'm not from, you know, all of us, this is something we could gravitate towards or get used to, but it's not like second nature to me. I didn't grow up with this stuff, so I ain't missing it. I had a great childhood without any cell phones. So, I realize now that we all connected to our cell phones and we used to it and we tuned in, but when I go outside and talk to my neighbors, I don't ring my phone. I go to the store, I leave my phone at home. I didn't grow up with this, so you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so I mean I like this podcast and everything, and I am so grateful. I'm so grateful to all of you who come in and support me. But there's a lot of people behind the scenes. I just don't know why they don't come in and smash the like button and let their self be known. But I do encourage you guys to do it. And salute to you and shout outs to you, especially through my Facebookers, because they're just either family, friends, people from the military. And some of them are not into boxing like I am, but they're getting there. And I feel like, wow, I did something because they used to didn't like boxing and now they do. PGH Big Dog says, at Demetrius Bright, salute fam. Yeah, and then y'all don't know it, but they be texting me, and they're like, if I'm asking a question, we talking about something, they'll chime in just through my personal phone. But I'll be like encouraging them to come in. Demetria said at least 50. Yeah, all the time, at least. So smash the like button, come on in, subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. Come on, hook a sister up, get these algorithms up, get them up. But yeah, Eddie is like he ain't gonna let Tyson do the jig too much before blasting his ass. Like, dude, come on now. You the same, nigga? You the same? Demetri said, don't understand why people don't hit the likes. They are watching and ear hustling. I guess they don't want to support your grind. If you can read between the lines, I got it. I see that too. But what somebody else do, I don't give a care. I could care less. Oh my goodness. What's up? What's up? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. My baby. Okay. Yeah, I see that. I see that. I feel that too. Like, but I don't let stuff, like that stifle me because I would never do something I don't know what I'm doing. Or I take that back. If I don't know, I'm willing to learn on the job train. Yogi, come on up in here, Yogi in the building was popping queen. It's showing not connected yet, but when you get connected, I'm gonna bring you up in here. But I feel you, Demetrius. That I couldn't tell you why, but I don't do the click thing, and The popularity thing. I don't be into all that. I'm just a regular person. I get along with everybody. Let me tell it. So if people feel a certain way, and they can feel how they feel, you know. I know a lot more people than people think. Like I have family members who are in movies and they're famous, and singers and stuff that are famous. Um, but I don't even go to them and say they know about the page. I don't even go to them and say, "Hey, can you do this? I could, but I don't do it because I'm a hard worker. I get mines for the mud. Get mine for the mud. But don't y'all forget, I am giving away a free TV once I get to 1,200 um, subscribers. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, Yogi. If you in here, you can click this link and you'll come right in. You'll come right in. So that link I just put in the chat, if you're having trouble, because I didn't email it to you, but I'm thinking you hitting it, you know. Yeah, hold on. People see, I'm getting text right now. Sir Antbo say, get that organic following. That's right. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm cool with that. That shit. If that was the case, I'd have folded a long time ago. I told y'all I was in the military working with nothing but men. I had to get men. I had to be a type of way where I had to get men to follow what I say. You know how hard that is as a woman? That is very hard. Mm, that's very hard. My phone open too. I think Butter's gonna call through because she having problems signing in. Dwayne was popping king. Salute Queen Miss T. Salute to you. Ronald Finkley, peace to the chat. Peace to you. Hey, Demetrius, I gotta ask you, what happened to Birdman? What's up with that? You guys were my day ones. What happened? Hey, Miss T. What's nice? Oh, what's up? So in case you just joining me tonight, I'm gonna be talking to some government workers. At least I thought it was Yogi. I think she can chime in. We're gonna be talking about the status of how this vaccination is and how it affects us in general, especially with government workers. We can be talking about other things too, but that's what we're talking about tonight. Ain't grown woman talk. And just so we can stay abreast and stay, updated and all that. But while I'm waiting for the ladies to come in, they're trying, I see. But while we're waiting for them to come in, I'll just keep on talking about some other things. But I did ask you, Demetrius, what happened to Birdman? Not that he gotta be here, but I'm just curious what happened to him. Just like dropped off. Um Thurman, Keith Thurman is explaining or defending the price of his upcoming bouts with Barrios, at the present moment. Yeah, Bird. You said he said peace to the chat. Oh, here we go. What's up? What's up? We got
Hey,
Queen
hey,
Lisa
hey,
in the
what's
house.
going on? Can you hear me?
Sure, yes, I can.
Okay, turn my TV.
We're waiting on Yolanda Wade to come in. It's an old Navy buddy of mine too. She works for the government, and you guys could give us an update on the status of vaccinations and stuff and what they do, because I know the Supreme Court just said something. I had to take a break from news because it was depressing. It was just getting to me, so I had to fall back. And because I don't like to walk around like beat down and mentally, and so I haven't been keeping up with the news, but I know you guys have, especially working in the government. So the floor is yours. Yolanda, I want you to know that I see you and I'm just waiting. This says it's not connected. And so I'm just waiting for it to connect. Yolanda, text me your email, your Gmail preferably. And then I'm going to send you a link to that and you can go from there. It might work better that way. Hold on, Lisa. Let me get the chats. And when we talking, we're gonna make sure we get the chats because that's the interaction that I want with the crowd, so that we can see what they had to say too. Demetri said Birdman still be in the barbershop. The last time I was up that late. Hopefully he's good. Probably just working. True, I saw him in the barbershop. Didn't even speak to me, Demetrius. Didn't even speak twice. Twice. I know they go both ways because I spoke to him, but he didn't speak to me. I asked, let a sister know. So what you said a little bit ago, I was like, Ronald Finkley said 2 vaccines and now a booster. You vaxxed out? But Lisa, go ahead. The floor
Well,
is
I'm
yours.
kind of like you. I haven't been keeping up with the news per se. I used to be a news junkie. Turn on the TV in the morning, go straight to my morning Joe, MSNBC, and the evening my Joy Reid. But as of late, you get so inundated with news, I have to disconnect from it. But and also because I get so inundated with constant guidance of what's going on with the COVID and where are we. I just have to stay focused on what is the latest and the greatest. So the latest and the greatest on the civil service side is, of course, um, the the Supreme Court has the injunction, so everything has stopped. No there is no moving forward with disciplinary actions on any civil service employee that chose not to get any vaccination, that chose to say, I'm not getting a vaccination due to religious exemptions, medical exemptions, any of those type of reasons. They chose to, or they just said it's not because I have a religious exemption. It's not because I have medical exemption. They just said I just don't want to get it. I have concerns. So Supreme Court said you don't have to get it at all. It's unconstitutional, and so we as federal HR, we can't do anything to them. We can't process them out. We can't take any disciplinary action as long as they wear their masks, as long as they social distance and they give us no pushback on that. They can come to work, do their job as usual. So that's where we are with that. The sticky point on that is if you are currently a federal civil service, meaning you already have a job, you're already working, that applies to you. But if you are trying to get a job and come into the federal service, they're going to need to take all of that information as saying that you have to be vaccinated off of those job announcements to comply with the Supreme Court's ruling that you don't have to be vaccinated. Because if, as of right now, in order to get hired and be qualified for a position, you have to be vaccinated. So as of right now, we don't know how that's going to impact people that come back and say, hey, I feel like I was qualified for a job, but I didn't apply. And because I didn't want to get vaccinated, we may have to go back and have those people be reconsidered for those positions based off the ruling of the Supreme Court.
Hold on. I was trying to send an email. 1 second, yo. I think she got
So
it. There we go.
it's a lot going on. It's a
What up,
lot of moving
player?
pieces. A lot of people, I will tell you, because there were some unvaccinated people at the time that they came back and they initially gave us that November 22nd drop dead date. You have to be vaccinated by November 22nd. And they said if you're not vaccinated, we're going to proceed with disciplinary action, possible removal from federal service. So a lot of unvaccinated people, of course, you coming for their livelihood. they went ahead and got vaccinated, begrudgingly got vaccinated. And then they pushed it back. They say pushed that suspense date back to January. I believe it was January 4th. So a lot of people that were unvaccinated that did get vaccinated by November 22nd were kind of like, well, you should have told me I had a little bit of time because I wouldn't have got vaccinated if I known that I've had a little bit more time. But now that the Supreme Court has come back and said it's unconstitutional, we don't know what that's going to look like for those people that feel like they were forced to be vaccinated against their wishes, against their will. We don't know. We don't know if they're going to ask for some type of compensation that is for legal um, to work out. That's for the appeals court. If they ask for some type of compensation, that's out of my wheelhouse. I have no clue. But that is something that they are at the higher levels are discussing. But as of right now, if people are unvaccinated, they can come to work. They can do what they usually been doing, and it's no issue. The
Okay.
only thing that they can't refuse to do, they can't refuse to come in and wear a mask. If they refuse to wear a mask, which is a part of safety protocols, especially in the healthcare facilities, that was long before COVID. You got to wear a mask if you work in a healthcare facility, if you're dealing with patients. If they refuse to wear a mask, then that's outside of COVID. That is not following procedures, not following safety protocols, and then they can be processed or disciplined because of that. If
Mm-mm.
that, I hope that makes sense. Anybody got any questions?
It does. I'm gonna get some of these chats. I would like to welcome Yolanda Wade is in the building. What's popping, Queen? What's popping, Queen?
Hello, my sister and queen. How are you?
I'm good. I'm gonna look at my man. Look at my man. Daddy is in the building. What's popping, King? There's my dog behind me. We call him Daddy. You see him?
Yes.
They're gonna knock my green screen down. Let me read some of these chats, and then I'm gonna let Yolanda take the floor because she also worked with the government and she can give her take on it. I haven't been abreast in keeping up with it, so I asked my girls. Um, Ronald Finkley said, "Ain't nobody getting stock market stress." PGH Big Dog said that mandate is unconstitutional. What happened to my body, my choice? I don't know. It's 2021, PGH. Ronald Finkley said you have to know when to sell, order a stock. PGH come back. It's a hustle. Follow the money. Sir Ant Bo is in the building, was popping king. Unfortunate against y'all will, shaking my damn head. See, I put my stank on it, Sir Ant Bo. You didn't say damn, but I put my stank on it. Ronald Finkley say, if the people don't want to get vaccinated, they should start their own business. A government job is like being owned. Anyway, I work for the government. You don't say. Ronald Finkley said vaccines are for community health courtesy these days. We all got kids. There's no way around society. And Demetrius said, salute Queen Yolanda. Yolanda, you have the floor.
Thank you, Demetrius. Same to you. Um, there's a lot of different views about the vaccination, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Um, what fascinates me the most is how conscious people have become over the couple of years since COVID has started. We have people saying, it's unconstitutional. They're saying that, I don't know what's in it. And then for those individuals, I posed the question, well, did you know what was in the typhoid shot? Did you know what was in any of the vaccinations that you received throughout the course of your time on this earth? So people may say the government owns us. But again, at the end of the day, you do what you feel is best for you. But as for Queen Yolanda, I'm about my money. And as long as I'm on this earth, I'm going to try to make as much as I can, both, working for the government and then as a business owner myself. So I say go with what works for you. As Queen Lisa said, the government has postponed it. So I work for a Fortune 500 company that supports the government. I'm not going to name that company. I'm a security manager for them. And we have postponed the mandate as well. But as Lisa said, she was right on the money how we're operating. But I would just say, do what's best for you, what you feel. If you don't feel like you should take it, just understand that there's going to be some restrictions there. Certain jobs you won't be able to apply for, certain jobs you won't be able to take on. But it's at the end of the day, it's on you. I just say be happy and be okay with the decision you make.
Mm.
She hit you with the don't worry, be happy.
And then to piggyback on just the typhoid and not knowing what's in certain things that we're putting in our body, I also find it very, very interesting the health consciousness of us of people now, because as we go into the store, we just grabbing things off the shelves. We're not taking those items and flipping over the back of it and reading the ingredients and seeing, oh my God, what is red dye number 7? Let me Google this and see what impact is this red dye number 7 is going to have on my body. Okay, I'm about to put this color in my hair. Let me see how these years of coloring my hair and relaxing my hair. Let me see the impact of absorbing all these chemicals in my body is going to have over time. We're not doing that. But for some odd reason, this COVID has taken us over the edge. But we can pick up an apple. We can pick up a box of cereal and not question what is in those ingredients. Not even look, but we will consume them daily. So I just would encourage people to just think about that as we go along our day, and we ask ourselves, what is in COVID? Have you even went to a website? Have you even researched to see what drug trials have been done to make sure this drug is safe? Do you know what has been done to make sure you're safe? Have you seen anybody have a whole lot of people? Because I'm quite, there's always going to be some adverse reaction to any type of drug. That is a known fact. So yeah, you will find a, a a group of people that have had an adverse reaction to any drug that's taken. That's why they have you wait for the 15-20 minutes after you have any type of procedure, any type of shot, to make sure that you're okay. So we gonna say, yeah, you're gonna raise your hand like, oh yeah, I know somebody that had an adverse reaction from the flu shot, but you're not having a large pool of people that's having a reaction to the point where they're pulling off the shelf. We're not having that. So, yes, you're going to have those naysayers that's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have people that say, well, they did this at the Tuskegee Airmen, and they used us as guinea pigs as people of color. You know, we can hold on to the past and use that as an excuse to say, I'm not going to move forward. Or we could just make sure moving forward, but while remembering what happened, that what are you doing to me? And let's make sure that that doesn't happen again. But don't use what happened to us as an excuse not to educate ourselves and be mindful of what is going and of what has been done to ensure that the drugs that we're putting in our bodies are safe.
So, you know what I be saying too. We all got personal feelings about this vaccination. I know for myself, you can't come in Miss T house if you ain't vax.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I've had friends get mad at me. I've had friends try to throw it up in my face. I don't give a fuck.
But you know what, Miss T, what really baffles me is the amount of military members, retired military members that have served at some length of time, that are saying, well, I'm not getting it. Well, how many shots did you get when we served? So for me, the way I looked at it is I received anthrax. So after receiving that series of shots,
Mhm.
I mean, what else could I take in my body that really could harm me any worse than that? So for me, at the end of the day, I trust God. I know that He has me. He has already ordained my time on this earth. And
Mhm.
if COVID was going to take me out, it would have taken me out. But again, at the end of the day, we all just have to make a conscious decision. But think about what you're saying. As Sister Lisa said, um, we become so we're scientists now. Everybody's a scientist.
Mhm.
And they want to say, well, I don't know what's in this. You don't know what's in anything. You're trusting the government, like she said, when you turn over that package, if you decide to read it. So at the end of the day, we all have a length of time on this earth. And when it's our time, our numbers up, we're gone. But as long as I'm going to be here, I'm going to try to be the healthiest that I can possibly be.
Let me tell you guys how you endanger yourself all the time and you don't come up with excuses for that. Okay, I can tell you right now, if it wasn't for the government, the lifestyle that you guys have, all of us as Americans, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't even know. You would be like, it would be so foreign to you how much um, if the government pull back on what all they do. Let's take something simple. Did y'all know that the government pays 70 something percent of all children being born? They don't stop and say, "Are you rich?" I'm sure rich people get charged the full amount to, but the majority of women having children, that's the government takes that cost because they know it's important to have children born and all this stuff. I don't see nobody being anti-government on that. What I don't like about this whole thing is the 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Hmm.
Because most of this is coming from anti-government sentiments. You want to protest every damn thing. We're living in like a anarchist, chaotic type time, and that has a shelf life. It's not like it hasn't happened before. It happened before. Hell, like I said yesterday, William McKinley was shot by an anarchist, a foreign anarchist. We go through these phases in life and y'all are protesting and misdirecting over the wrong things. Manufacture anger, as Obama say. I'm gonna get some of these.
Hold up, before
Chat.
you get some of those out the way, I'm mad with y'all helpers. Y'all let me come up here and say Tuskegee Airmen. Y'all could have corrected me on that.
We knew you were talking about the
We knew
syphilis.
what you
We
was
knew what you was where you was going.
we knew where the remote. I'm gonna hit the look. I'm gonna have to hit the James Brown on you. No, that ain't it. Hold on, sorry. You know, we knew what you was talking about. Where is the remote? The rewind.
She was just going. She was like, and let me
Y'all
tell you
feel me?
about this. It's all good. We knew what you were talking about. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's what people are standing on. And they're not looking at the totality of the situation. And that's all I just say. If you're going to really research. Stop
Yeah,
looking at the news and letting that be your form of research, but do some digging.
exactly.
Exactly. Sir Ambo say they ran to get stuck. Well, before CDC released ingredients, nothing is safe for everybody. Let me get all. And then he said, "Who we?" And he said, "Hold on to the past. We still get lynched. Hold on to the past, meaning learn from mistakes, learn from what happened, and make better choices going forward. Not hold on to the past, meaning, uh,
Forget about it.
yeah, forget about it, or I'm gonna do the
Like,
opposite. Like, just learn
Hmm.
from it. That's it,
yeah,
Sir
because that's
Ambrose.
all history is. It's a lesson so that
Mhm.
we don't repeat it. I mean, there's things that we have learned. It's things that we're not going to allow to happen now that we are more informed. But again, don't just use one source as your basis of why you're not going to do it. If you're going to research history, research all of it, not just the part where it benefits you.
Yeah, don't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out, Sir
That's like
Ambrose.
reading half the Bible.
Or memorizing scriptures to suit your position. You know,
Exactly.
you
That's
got a
real.
few scriptures memorized.
Smash the like button while y'all come up in here. Don't just be eye hustling.
Hmm.
Reckless eyeballing. Come on, smash that like button. Sir Ampo said, I was 17. I'm thinking you meant meaning when you came in the military. He's an old shipmate too. I remember I was losing blood. I ran to the hospital though. Yeah, when you need them for real, ask the people who thought it was a hoax, and then when they caught it and almost died, how they feel about it now.
That part.
I had a bad experience with blood thinners.
You
Yeah.
know, we have a bad a case of that. We have people saying, I hate police. I hate what they stand for. But the minute you in a situation, you call a 911. So again, you can't play both sides of the fence. If
Mhm.
you support something, then support it all the way. Don't go and straddle, you lukewarm.
Mm-hmm.
KB Jet, look what it sound like Goldilocks. It's too hot. It's too cold. I want it in the middle. Sir Ambo, COVID, the new terrorist funding our troops. See, I don't even, but listen, and I told you guys this too. A conspiracy only works when a handful of people is in on it. The whole world was in on this. That is not a conspiracy. Stop the madness. In the military, we have to take a plethora of vaccines, for example, anthrax, smallpox, to name a few. Who remembers basic training when one had to go through the gauntlet and got stuck in both arms? All of us can raise our hand on that one, Dimitri. Days,
Yes,
yeah,
we sure
days
did. And we
after
didn't
that,
ask them what was in there either.
show didn't know, and they was shooting that thing in.
Yes.
Days after COVID, banks received $1 trillion per day. Housing increased, stock inflation. Sounds like 2006 after 03, if you remember. You know what I think? It probably is some man-made fugaziness going on, but at the same time, this is a real virus, and people really were dying. Eventually, people say whatever the headlines say. Is the Great Reset a conspiracy? And Ronald said that means the world has no heart. They just want extinction. Well, whatever our fate has been in this world as Black people, that ain't gonna never change. They'll just keep trying to figure out a new way to get you and a new way to get you. I'm gonna play something that Earthquake, the comedian. I'm gonna take a risk. I gotta change my banner and say, I don't own this. So I don't want nobody hitting me up. Facebook, I don't own this. Somebody take this shit. I'm just along for the ride. But I thought it was cute. I thought it was funny. He said it best and he said it funny. So let me go ahead and play this clip.
I know it. I took my shot. Took that motherfucker when it first came out. Line was so long, looked like they was high. These ain't jokes. I was scared too because I thought they was gonna run out. I had my arm out and everything. There's an old lady in front of me. I thought she was gonna get the last dose, so I just pushed her to the side. Come on now, mama, you done lived your life. You're being real selfish right now. No problem with the coronavirus. You're in a wheelchair with an oxygen tank. You're supposed to be at home getting to know the Lord. And I'm here taking this good ass medicine. You can't tell Black people you got the shot. Them niggas treat you like you done sold out. You put that shit in your body. Come on, nigga. What kind of nigga is that damn nigga? Come on. Not my nigga. You let that white man, come on, nigga. How could you put that shit in your body? I say the same way you do that cocaine. You ain't got no problem putting that cocaine in your nose, nigga. You get your medicine from a nigga at the bar at the club. I get mine from Fauci. He's smoking a blunt. All them niggas just coughing on it. You'll take that chance. That's that good shit from Cali. Hit it, nigga. Hit it. Chest just burning like a motherfucker. You'll take that chance, but I'm wrong for fucking with Fauci. I got a cousin, he live in Michigan. That nigga, I heard, hey man, I heard you put that shit in your body. Nigga, what kind of motherfucker would do that? Come on, cuz, tell me that shit ain't true. I said, nigga, you live in Flint. And you just got out the shower. You ain't got no problem putting that contaminated water on your black ass. I just want niggas to be consistent. All y'all niggas with this health, man, you worry about you hit motherfucker all the time, nigga. Why ain't you take the shot, nigga? I gotta do my research. Nigga, you ain't even passed science in high school. Fuck research you doing, nigga. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. You ignorant ass nigga. You ain't been worried about your health. Now all of a sudden, what's in it? Fuck out of here. I just saw you eating a pork chop sandwich. Some of y'all ain't laughing because you're in this bitch. Oh, hypocrite ass bastards. I just want you to be consistent, nigga. I was never afraid of the vaccine shot because I done took more chances than a vaccine shot. You know how many women I done slept with, nigga, that had a fever? I be hitting that ass, ooh, you really is warm. You do got the flu. I thought you just ain't want to give a nigga nothing. I'm gonna get you some Theraflu in the morning, baby. I swear, it ain't gonna take long, man. Now you worried about a vaccine shot. You in the alley down in Miami picking up a key, don't with nothing but a text number. I just want you to be consistent. And since all you anti-vax motherfuckers have that same energy for all the other illness that's plaguing our community. Don't jump on the hot dick, the coronavirus. They on the high blood pressure, all the shit that hit, all the diabetes, they true to all this shit. And some of y'all are straight up motherfucking hypocrites. Been wearing a mask for 18 months. Ain't seen a dentist in 18 years. Just over this chewing on the left side of your mouth. No, you can't use that upper right tooth. Go ahead, nigga.
Oh my God. Okay, go on and on from there. Oh my God, that was hilarious. Oh, that one with the mask got me. He said, you can't even wear a mask for 18 months. Ain't seen the dentist in 18 years. Now that's funny. You can see that really happening. We had some people come in. Champion Heart, hey boo boo. Hey, Champion Heart is in the building. It's popping king. And Ronald said, I definitely waited for my own thought process and then decided my dude said right away. Sir Amble said, I lost 2 relatives and 1 close friend to COVID, but all 3 died were out and succumbed to something else. $30K per day to put us on ventilators, life support, it's conspiracy. Sorry for your loss, Sir Amble. Ronald said, condolences, real talk. And he was crying, laughing at the show. And Champion said, earthquake of food. But you feel him, right, Champion? You feel him?
You know what, Miss T, let me ask your audience this question.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of research and documentation on car accidents, plane accidents, you name it. But I guarantee you they're still driving.
Mhm.
They're still getting on a plane. You know, so what prevents you from stopping driving? You know, why are you still driving if you see the death, the fatality rates associated with car accidents?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a good question, you guys. There is a delay a little bit, Yolanda, in the chat, but somebody's going to answer that. She basically saying, like what Earthquake just said too, you have a lot of things that you can look at that can be comparable to the same issue with COVID, but yet that don't stop anybody from engaging and indulging in those activities and everything. So Ronald Finkley says so true. He also said, knock on wood, haven't had that experience. He said you can pass basically doing anything. Yeah. If you have, they told us that if you have underlying issues, that it might be dangerous for you. Like I'm a person that had the underlying issues. I still went and did it. I should be, triply scared. I have, y'all know I got a lot of medical issues but I went and did it. Like you said, like he said, we said it before, Earthquake said it just now. We all been in the military. I mean, it's so many things that we had to do. Why would I be scared of this?
Mm-hmm. And I think just to piggyback on what we just said about the car accidents, you understand that they happen. You understand that there may be you get in the plane, you putting your life in the hands of the pilot, and you're hoping that he ain't, he not having a bad day, his mind is right, and you know, he ain't had a few drinks and gonna fall asleep on the job. But when you get in that car, you know that you're gonna follow um, the rules of the road. You're gonna put on your safety belt. You're gonna make sure if you have passengers, if you got your children in the car, you're gonna do what's necessary to stay alive. You're gonna do that because it's just common sense. You want to see the next day. You want, even if you don't value your life as much as you should, you're gonna look around and look in the back and know that you want to be here for your children. So you're gonna do those things. You're gonna make sure that you don't run a red light. You're not gonna be impulsive. You're not gonna do silly things like that. You're gonna wear your seatbelt. You're not gonna go 90, and hope that you be the exception to the rule and make it. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna just go 90 and hit a pole and I hope I make it. Because that would be foolish. If they telling you that, what, if you hit this pole at 90, you probably gonna die. If they telling you if you don't, this vaccine is gonna save your life. If you by chance, hopefully you don't, but if by chance you have COVID or you contract COVID, that it will save your life. Most people would say, I will get that. I'm going to go ahead and do that because I want to be here. But for some reason, people are choosing not to look in the back seat of the car and say, I'm going to do it for my children, I'm going to do it for myself, or put that safety belt on and make sure that they're locked in. They're not going to, make sure they're following the rules of the road, and I'm not going to drive 90 miles an hour into a tree. It for me, that analogy, it just doesn't make sense. But that's how I see it when people say, no, I'll take my chance. I'm going to run into this tree and see if I make it.
Yep. And let me get some of these chats. Sir Antbo said, my issue is mandating, calling a life support machine a ventilator, and profiting heavily off a pandemic while we bicker. Guess what? That has never changed. That part, Sir Antbo, I feel you, but that has never changed. That it's always been like that because the type of health system we got. And then, we get Obamacare. That helped a lot of people. But when people say, I don't want to vote, this is what I think of. You don't want to vote? Okay. You're going to get that kind of treatment because the one side, and I'm going to say it straight up because I'm a proud Democrat, and I know some people don't agree with me, but that's just how it is. No harm, disrespect to anybody else. But the Republicans tell you they don't want you to have health care, and they want it to be like this, but y'all put them in power. And I can only do but one. I have one vote. I can't do it by myself. Ronald Finkley said, a conscious reality is when you think of people in your life. Indeed. Champion Hart said, I feel them, but I have always been consistent about my health. I have always had a good immune system. Not going to let them convince me that my immune system is not going to do what it has been designed to do. I feel you, sir. Sir Ambo say, my issue is getting a back 1+ years before CDC release ingredients. My issue is some of us make it hard for those who see through the shit. And Ronald Finkley said, if you are symptom free and feel healthy, so be it. If you live in a place you can afford to do it. Here's the thing too, like what they both were saying, Lisa and Yolanda saying about the car. You go through all that preparation, the routine, the buckling up, fastening your child in and everything. But guess what? You ain't guaranteed to make it. You get on the plane, they tell you everything. In case of an emergency, you ain't guaranteed to make it. So the same thing for me, I guess what I would love to hear is, when has America been different? When they had polio, everybody complied. Did polio disappear? No, it didn't. It's still here. A lot of people think polio is just about your legs and you cripple because they think of FDR. Polio paralyzes. It paralyzes your heart. If your heart is paralyzed, you dead. It does a whole lot of things, and that shit was rampant back in the day. But when they thought they found a cure and they was proven to be right, everybody complied. So now polio is not a big thing. Cholera, all those diseases, they haven't gone. Population control by getting vaccinated stopped all that stuff on a regular basis. Hold on. He said one more thing. Salute Lisa and Yolanda. Good shit, ladies. Okay,
Thank
you
you.
got something to add?
T, let me ask this question. So for the young man, his name went away, so I didn't remember it, but he was speaking about mandates.
Mhm.
And my question to him is, what are laws? They're mandates. You know,
Absolutely.
there's mandates for everything that we do in this world, and there's also consequences. Now, the mandate for us to be vaccinated as a whole is because just like some people are healthy, they are asymptomatic. They won't have, for me, I had COVID, I didn't have any symptoms. However, me exposing others is the issue. So you may be healthy, you may be fine, but it's going to come at a cost to another citizen, maybe your family member. It may not be your family member, but at the end of the day, it's about being conscious for the greater good of us all.
Absolutely.
True.
And
Yeah.
also, just to piggyback on what Yolanda said, think about where we would be um, from last year to this year if President Biden had not mandated this vaccine. How many lives would have been lost? We had already lost 500,000. 500,000 people. If he hadn't put out the government, if at the federal sector, they hadn't put out that the urgency of people being vaccinated, because at the high rate of the healthcare system being stretched to the point where they were triaging people in their cars because they didn't have beds. People didn't understand the magnitude of the importance of being vaccinated, that this was a necessary, some people would almost say a necessary evil to the unvaccinated people, because they felt like their rights they were being violated, to be mandated to take care of themselves. Just like a child, almost, when you say, you're gonna go in there and brush your teeth, you're gonna take a bath, you ain't had a bath in 5 days, I'm gonna scrub you down. It was almost like that, where you have to take charge and say, almost 500,000 people have died. If we hadn't made this hard choice for the people of the United States to against themselves, like we have to come in and make you take a bath. We have to, because if we didn't, we probably would be closer to 1,000,000 people dead if they hadn't done this, because people don't understand until they lose their wife, until they lose their sister, and you see it in the news, or they get COVID themselves, where they have that regret of, I wish I had got vaccinated. So that was the urgency of this mandate, where it wasn't just President Biden by himself on the toilet just saying, I'm going to do this. This was after guidance, after talking to Dr. Fauci, after talking to healthcare experts that said, this is where we are. And if this is not done, this is where we're going. And it doesn't look good.
And then
We are in a healthcare crisis, and the American people, the conspiracy theorists, do not understand the crisis we are in. And because the crisis we are in, our recommendation is you mandate this. I know it had to be a lot of meetings, because I'm so I'm so tired of meetings about the vaccination. I done seen so many fragos and messages come out with this vaccination. I can't even keep up. I
Right.
can't keep up.
And Lisa, in response to Champion Heart's comment about there was a 5 to 7 year test for polio. Polio was a progressive disease. So it had phases where the person initially became crippling. And so it was progressive, unlike COVID. COVID, you went from one extreme to another.
Excellent.
So we didn't have the same time span. And we have to look at everything. I know you're looking at it based off history, but the two are not comparable. Because again, polio was progressive. A person didn't just drop dead of polio. It became debilitating first, and then over time, that person died. Whereas COVID, people was contracting it and dying within days.
Exactly. So the egregiousness, of the urgency of it took priority to say we got to take action right now. Because the healthcare industry, the doctors are, not only are the patients catching it and dying, our doctors are too.
Right.
We're
We're depleting our resources.
Exactly, absolutely. And again, if you're not a part of those meetings, if you're not doing your research, or you're not seeing the internal and putting everything together, and then you haven't had your aha moment. But it takes expanding your mind. It takes opening your mind to see, okay, I get it. And it takes conversations and dialogue like these, so you can bring in somebody, the unvaccinated, you can have that dialogue. And sometimes, they will understand it's not, the government just coming in and say, you're going to do what I tell you. No, this was after much conversation, much, 30, 40-year infectious disease, trusted expert, trusted advisor. I can't remember how many presidents Dr. Fauci has been under that he's been a trusted advisor, but he ain't been an advisor for so many presidents because, they just like him. That's because he knows what he's doing.
Right.
Let me get some of these chats. Butter is on the phone because she having a hard time chiming in through the beam in. But Champion Heart said the difference is the 5 to 7 year test on the polio vaccine. When you took that vaccine, you didn't keep getting polio. The reason why we keep getting COVID is because it's a virus and virus mutates and everybody didn't comply. That's the difference. Everybody complied with the polio vaccinations. And then there was no need to worry about keep getting polio. But if everybody don't comply with the vaccinations, the virus will keep mutating. That's just virus 101 right there. Sir Antbo said this shit sound like the White House press conference. Laugh out loud. I'm sorry, boo.
You know what, Miss T, that is funny. I just want to tell Sir Antbo, as I was reading his comment, I am a Homeland Security professional. I'm currently getting my doctorate in Homeland Security, and I have studied COVID and the impact on our supply chain, the impact that it is placing on our homeland. And so I'm looking at the resources being drained. We have people that are scared to leave their homes, so it's impacting our work, our economic. If we do not get a handle on this, we're literally going to depress our country. So at what point do we say, I'm going to do this for the greater good of everybody? And I say, yes, everybody, because I'm still a sister.
Exactly. Ronald Finkley said, I think I had it, but I never was said to have had it. When I got the shot, it was after research in my area. It was there. The original COVID happened in the 60s. They've been studying this thing. Now, I can rock with y'all if y'all think that man tried to put it out there on purpose for a hidden agenda. I can rock with that. But sometimes you can't be caught up in just that. It's out there. It's shutting people down. It's killing folks. A whole country. What y'all think if Italy would have lost 70-some% of their population? You know what would have happened? Italy wouldn't be Italy no more. Them other countries, France, Spain, everything around there, they would have divvied it up. And what could Italy do? You think that's why I know it's not a hoax. Sir Ampo said very much violated. And I said, Miss T, do you and the ladies know about the PrEP Act? I don't know about the PrEP Act, but if you want to beam me, I left the link in the chat, champion. You could tell us about the PrEP Act. COVID is an airborne pathogen, from what I remember, and it lingers in the air and can get in your lungs. True that. Fauci, I guess. Tuberculosis killed 1.3 million a year before last. Where's all the mandates for tuberculosis vaccine? People get that's part of your vaccine. I don't know no job that I ever had where they make me get a TB shot.
Can't even go to you can't even enroll in your kid in school without that on your vaccination card.
Yeah.
That's your mandate right there.
You
roll your kid in school and let them not have that TB, that tuberculosis on their card. Excuse me, sir, you gotta take them back, and this need to be signed off.
Yep, you advocating for my kid to get stuck. You don't have that right, ma'am. No, you guys can do what you do. I'm gonna tell you how I feel in the end. But Ronald said touchy subject with kids, but white kids getting vaccinated because it's at their school, and that's how they used to do it back in the day. COVID wiped out Iranian leadership. First conspiracy or fact. I got receipts, but y'all went window shopping. I care about America and what's going on over here, and I do look at the other countries. That guides me as to knowing that it's not just a hoax. It's Ronald said it's a choice. Also, if staying home, 30 to 40 years, try 30 months. Dr. Christina Parks has been in those meetings, and she says there is no reason for people to be dying. They silence her voice because she speaks against agenda. There's people who say that they died. We saw, like somebody was saying earlier, one of the ladies, they triaging in the car. I mean, the shit was real though, y'all. None of them vaxxed, ma'am. But here's the thing. At this point, because I cannot understand, and then I'm gonna let Butter get in there. I cannot understand what's the big hoopla about it. Because somebody got to tell me where America was different when it comes to this type of stuff. Also, in the end of the day, I'm going to get my vaccination. It doesn't promise me, I know, that it's going to cure anything, but what it can give me some self-assurance about is that I might not, if I do catch it, it might not hit me hard. One, I don't know what it's going to do when I get it. As some people say, they just lose their sense of smell and taste. Others die. I'd rather have the smell and taste thing. I don't want to die. So I think the vaccination does that. But if don't nobody want to get vaccinated, I ain't mad at you. But just like you have your rights, so do others. Your rights stop when you're infringing upon others. And the United States government is what it is. It's not a shocker how they work things out. As Lisa say, now, if you try to get a job with the government, you're going to have to be vaxxed. If you were already there and not vaxxed, they can't do nothing to you. That's what changed. But why protest that? That is different from how in the past. And in the end of the day, and this sounds a little cold, and I apologize, but when you're trying to help and when you're trying to do the right thing and people don't want to hear it, you got to have the attitude like, if they like it, I love it. If you catch COVID and die, so be it. I don't care, because I can't make you get the shots. I can only do what I can do. I'm not going to be mad at you if you don't get the shots, but if you die, that's what you wanted. That's how I see it. But Butter, go ahead and chime in. Butter, if you there?
I'm here. Pretty much what you said. You know, you're damn if you do, you're damn if you don't. I have my shot. I got all of my vaccines.
Hello?
Yeah, champion. Hold on. Butter talking. Go ahead.
Hello?
My shots. I got my vaccination.
We hear you.
So I guess I'm playing Russian roulette with my life too, because I'm a nurse, so I'm just one of the candidates that have that run up on being sick, and from any of the vaccinations that I have gotten. We talked about this topic before, so it's going to be an ongoing thing because everybody had their virtues on this, COVID thing. I had COVID. I thank God that I'm still here. I barely could breathe. I barely could walk. I had muscle aches out of this world. I have never had pneumonia to the point that I would know what that feels like. Having the flu, yes, I have. But whatever it did, whatever happened to me, I feel like the funny thing is that I was at the hospital the night before. Nobody said anything about me having COVID. My muscles and everything was hurting. I had to go for um a review for my
Hello.
Hold
so
on,
they asked
butter. Hold on 1 second. Champion Heart, we can. he keep chiming in, butter, and we can't. He think we can't hear him. Champion, if you're in the chat, we can hear you. I actually bring you in. We can hear you. I don't know if you can hear butter. Let me ask the question: can everybody hear butter in the chat?
Yes.
In like in the chat.
Oh.
Can you guys in the chat hear butter? I think somebody can. Demetrius said, "Salute Queen Butter." I'm sorry to interrupt, Butter, but can y'all hear Butter in the chat? So, Champion Heart, I got the link in there again. Go on and chime in. I'm gonna bring you in, but Butter is talking right now. We do hear you, champ. But go ahead, Butter.
I guess what I was scared, with the fact of me not knowing that I had COVID prior to getting a test. So that kind of did scare me because I'm like, how did I get COVID the next day after I was already in the hospital, the day before? And they say you got to have it in your system almost like 10 days, but, the circumstances was that, my fiance had it. So he worked at hospitals doing floors, and he worked at a nursing home where the person had died from COVID. He changed the carpet, in that room. Could have got it, or I could have gave it to him. Like I said, that thing out there is a hit and miss. But when I had it, it almost made me feel like I was going to die. So yeah, we all out here playing Russian roulette. A lot of people still doing the same thing, not washing their hands. Something that they told us for years to do. They teach you in elementary. They teach you, when you become a nurse. They teach you just because they have them on the bathroom when you go into public spaces. No one never follows that for regular germs. They tell women, don't put your pocketbook on this area. They show you, in science how little germs live on the bottom of your pocketbook. So I always have like a little cloth or pocket or another thing to hang my pocketbook, or you hang it on the back of your chair. But do we all follow the rules of life? No, we do not. Are we all gambling with circumstances in life? Yes, we are. I mean, as T said, what's the problem? We're just trying to survive out here in these streets.
Exactly, Mundo. Champion Heart. I'm gonna pause it right here. Champion Heart, try to come back in. We hear you very clearly. I don't know if you can hear us, but we didn't you guys hear Champion?
Yes.
I heard him.
Sir, I'm gonna read some of the chats. Sir Antbo said face masks should be mandatory in grocery stores forever. I agree because I don't get as sick as I used to. Because I catch allergies. Oh, we got Champion. Champion Heart, we hear you.
Man, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you.
Oh,
wow.
We can hear you real good. Well, look, I don't know how to do it, but go ahead and spill.
I can't hear you.
Type.
Okay,
Type,
hold on.
Type in the
Hold
chat.
on.
Don't hang up.
Okay. All right. Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, we got you. All right, go ahead and speak. You got the floor, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm actually at work, so I'm gonna jump in real quick. That's what was going on. Is my headset wasn't connecting because I'm driving, so I pulled in to fuel up. So I'm gonna jump in real quick. The PrEP Act, what that did was one of a young lady, she mentioned it earlier that they rushed the vaccines out because of the amount of people that were in the hospital Okay, but when they did that, what they did was what these pharmaceutical companies were only in the second phase of testing this vaccine. So this is why the information constantly changes, because they don't know what it does, because they were only in the second phase of testing it. So they said that, so they told the government, well, if you're going to force us to put this vaccine out, then you have to give us immunity. That's what the PrEP Act is, meaning that these pharmaceutical companies can't be sued. When something happens and they find out that it was due to the vaccine that you took from Pfizer, Johnson and Johnson, and Moderna, you can't sue. That's what the PrEP Act protects them, so that you can't come back and sue when something goes on with your system and they discover that it was from the vaccine that you took. The point is that they had to rush this out, like the young lady said, they had to rush this out because of people that were in the hospital, and they needed to try and do something about that. Okay, but at the same time, they had to. These pharmaceutical companies weren't willing to do that, so they had to get some type of protection for themselves. That's what the PrEP Act is. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm not against vaccines, but I am logical. You see what I'm saying? And I got this stuff in 2019, right before they started the scare. I had never gotten that sick before, and I was to a point to where I had to use, what asthma patients use, that pump for asthma. I had to use that, and I was listening to some of the symptoms that people were saying that they had, and one of the things that people were saying was that they had to use that, and I had to use that. When I went to the doctor, she said, "You got some kind of virus, but I don't know what it is." But my immune system did what it's designed to do, and I'm good. And that's my point. When you have to understand that your information is coming from a government that has never given a damn historically, has never given a damn about Black people. Now all of a sudden they love us, and you're just gonna take everything what they're saying is for face value. I'm not saying that it's not real. Of course they put it out there, and that I believe. But what I'm saying is, be logical. It's just like religion. All the logic goes out of the window. Just believe, regardless to being logical. Just believe what I tell you, and that's how people are when it comes to religion. They don't do research, and they don't find out for themselves. They just listen to whatever the pastor or preacher or whatever he tells them.
I feel you, Champion Hopper. Let me ask you this: when you made the statement, they all of a sudden love us.
Uh-huh.
I actually think that they feel the same as they always feel. I don't think the government love us. I think they love themselves more. You don't have people, you don't have taxpayers. You don't have taxpayers, you don't have no money. You don't have people, you don't have a strong nation. I think that's what they love. And they looked at the rate in which people were dying, so they felt like they had to jump on it. If it was something like I'm gonna give an example. Uh, y'all remember Gardasil? Is anybody familiar with Gardasil?
Who?
Gardasil.
That's the
Garden still.
female
Gardasil.
birth control.
No, not it's not. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but the thing for the papilloma thing.
Okay,
The
I know you're
shot
talking about.
thing.
Okay.
So and this is what I saw. Couldn't do nothing about it. Couldn't argue about it. But as long as it was a female problem, there was no emergency. There's no emergency. Women catch those viruses. And it was an epidemic when I was in my 20s. And y'all know how old I am. So it's worse now. So they had to come up with something, because this is affecting, when it started affecting stuff that people really care about, like birth rates of people getting pregnant, women dying off, because you catch that stuff, eventually it leads to cancer and you will die from it. So they come up with this shot. And I guess the first wave of women who got that shot ever, they should be at least 30 years old, maybe late 20s right now. I got my daughter that shot because you're supposed to get it before you start being sexually active. It wasn't until they saw that men had the same issue that they make a big to do about it. So we as women can look at it, they ain't give a damn about us. Only part that they cared about because they knew you can't change what God made. We carried the babies, and it was affecting that. So, okay, yeah, it's important. But when it was just us catching it and dying, nobody cared. When men start catching it, because when women catch problems down there, they start cutting stuff. If y'all catch problems down there, what they gonna cut? So then it became important. So now young boys and girls they advocate for them to get the shot. It's new on the scene. It was new when it came out. I did my research. Not that I wasn't gonna get my daughter to get it. I got my nephew on it. But I found that those women who are probably now 30 years old or in their late 20s, they went on to have regular lives like regular women and have children. And nothing happened. The children didn't come out the form. Nothing was bad, but it was a new virus vaccination on the scene that's supposed to help that nobody knew about.
Miss T, my
Mhm.
question for the audience is, we are making this a black-white thing, but this virus originated in another country. It has impacted every country, every race of people, every age of people. So I don't understand what one has to do with the other. While we're saying, well, they don't give a damn about us, this is not a black issue. This is not a white issue. This is a virus that does not discriminate.
Well,
Absolutely.
no, I said that because they are coming with the narrative that it attacks. It's more. I've heard the narrative that is more apparent, in in black kids. And the thing is that you have to relate that to diet. You have to relate that to immune system. All that's the key. You know what I'm saying? To that. The reason why is because the neighborhoods that we live in and the fast foods that are constantly opening in these neighborhoods, so that gives you a poor diet. So because of that poor diet, that gives you a weak immune system. So of course it's going to be more apparent. I'll just use that. I was using that as an example.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people forgot about this part too. In the beginning, in the very beginning, when they was rushing to find out how it attacks, they actually had did a study like 15 or so years ago, 20 years ago maybe, of why do black people tend to be afflicted by high blood pressure as young as in their mid 30s. And you're right, Champion Heart, it's about the diet and what we eat and how we abuse our body that way. Okay, but nothing. We know that that shit kills us, and it's killing us fast. But we don't stop doing that one. But what they found out is that most black people, not all, because no black person is pure these days. Most black people do not possess ACE2 inhibitors. That's what they found out 20 years ago. And ACE2 inhibitors is like some kind of gene or cell that's work in conjunction with the lungs and all that stuff. So fast forward, COVID comes out. Okay, they find out that COVID has to attach itself to your ACE2 inhibitor to unlock. That's the key that that virus used to get into your lungs and cause damage. People with low ACE2 inhibitors don't really get sick. This is what they came out with in the beginning. But people with an abundance of ACE2 inhibitors do. Black people have ACE2 inhibitors, but not most of us. ACE2 inhibitors are important for regulating blood pressure. That's why it came out in that study 20 years ago. That's what they figured out. If most black people don't have ACE2 inhibitors and you're eating wrong all your life and everything, guess what? This is why you have high blood pressure, because you don't have that one gene that helps regulate blood pressure. It's not to say that white people who have an abundance of ACE2 inhibitors can't get high blood pressure. It's just they was trying to figure out why does it afflict Black people on the whole like it does. And then to come to find out that COVID needs that. Now to the person who don't have an abundance of that, COVID will come through you like a little flu and come right out you. To the people that have a lot of it, like Asians, whites, get afflicted too. But also why Black people was getting it on the whole in this country is because of economics. They don't have the best medical care. A lot of Black people don't go to the doctor. They can't afford it. One day in a hospital can be like a $15,000 bill. Who got that? Nobody.
Not too many people.
Right. Well, you're right. I mean, you're right about not are afraid to go to the doctor, but you have to look at historically what medical field has done pertaining to us. The Tuskegee experiment was not the first experiment done to us. That's the only one that just that was exposed. You know what I'm saying? There are many different type of experiments that they've done with us.
Yes, that's true. And I will say this too, Champion Heart, for the rest of our lives and probably beyond our lives, they will always do something on that order or another. They experiment on people in Africa. That's never going to change. That's like me saying, hey, I want all men to stop cheating. That's a losing battle. I can't control that. None of us can. And I'm not saying women don't cheat, by the way, guys. I'm just saying I know Champion Heart be like, damn it, girl. Ways with Champion Heart. But I'm just saying, it's more cheating prevalent in you guys' beginning, but you guys have a higher testosterone rate
Right, I get your point.
So that's a fruitless battle. That's a moot battle. So that's why it's like sometimes when I hear about the vaccination, it's not a given that it's going to cure you. That's not the argument. Anybody who says so is fooling themselves. It's saying your risk of catching it and or dying has diminished. That's all it's saying. Now, if we approach it like we have approached all viruses that have come out since the beginning of time and really in the 20th century, we would be better off for it. But people don't want to. So at this point, you got one side who is anti it and the other side who's for it. And all I can say is we live in a free country. If you don't want it, you don't want to get it. If you do get it, you get it. But none of us can complain about stuff we don't have control of. So if you work for the government and the government say to get this job, you got to get vaxxed. What's different? That's what I need, Champion Heart. What is different from what it has always been, and why now is it a problem?
Well, for one, because the study hasn't been done like other viruses. You see what I'm saying? And because they rushed it out. With the other vaccines, you had the study, so they knew, okay, well, this is what's going to happen after 2 years. This is what's going to happen, after 5 years. You don't know that about this.
So let me put it another way, right? Let's take the vaccine off the table. This is just my HR mind, and I'll put it in layman's terms. If I tell you, you can't come in my house unless you take off your shoes. You can't come in my house unless you take off my shoes, or you're not welcome. That's effectively what, to be a federal employee, what they're saying. And if you don't want to take off your shoes to come in my house, that's your choice, right?
Right.
And that's effective. You're saying you don't want to get the shot, right? You have your right at this point to stay out the federal government. You're saying that it hasn't been vetted. That you have your concerns that it hasn't went through the proper trial periods. And you want to do your own research. That what they're saying is okay, but in order to come in this house, you got to take off your shoes.
Is that wrong, Champion?
Is that wrong?
Yeah, like is that a wrong way to look at it?
I mean, again, that goes back to to your choice. I mean, if that's how, if you know you don't want me to come in your house because you want me to take off my shoes, and I don't, then I have that choice to not take off my shoes.
And yes, exactly. You still have your choice, right?
Right,
You
right,
chose to take off your shoes. This is my house, and I say, listen, I respect you. Don't like to take off your shoes. I have some clean socks here for you to put on, right? I got some clean socks for you to put on. If you don't wear socks, I got some clean ones right here in this bucket that I keep this basket. But you got to put these clean socks on to come in my house, take off your shoes. And you said, I'm not going to do that. I will respect your decision,
hmm
but that not to come in the house. It just says you don't want to take off your shoes, but I need you to respect my decision that in order to come in my home, you got to take off your shoes. That
right,
is essentially what the government is saying.
That's
and I get that, but my thing is the logic behind it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they're telling you, don't be logical, don't question, just do.
I don't know, Champion Heart. I feel that a lot of people feel that way, but that's where I get confused because I
hmm
see, I see it as it's kind of like the analogy she gave. That was a good one, Lisa. If
Yeah,
you don't want to comply, that's cool, but
right,
then you don't get the job. Are we
right,
still cool? Is everything we still friends? That's how I see it. And a lot
right.
of people
And
like,
and,
oh,
and work, being working for the government is not the only job. So if that was the only job, then my decision might be different.
person. I feel that too, Champion. But
Yeah.
I think most people who are for vaccinations, I think this is what they're saying. But
hmm
when you go to like your private companies, remember when Obamacare came out? And we know that the only reason a lot of private companies was protesting the Obamacare, that's just to get at Obama and make him be a fair.
Yeah, that's all. That's all that was. And they named it that to demonize him.
Right.
That's yeah.
But
But it's the Affordable Health Care Act is what it was.
that's the proper name. But
Right.
Hobby Lobby was like, I don't want to pay for Burkitt pills. Since when did you care? Since when did you care? Why is that hurting you? You are hiring people. You're not bringing them into your church. They're there to do a job. You pay them for the job. It's always been that you had medical care or benefits through your job. Now you got it where you can get about Affordable Care Act through other means. It don't have to be through your job. And
Right.
now they're going to take that away. So as we just said, like it's like I don't understand it. That's why politically I be feeling the way I feel. And I know I saw with your comment the other day. You said, "Now if we could just get you on the politics." I was laughing. I was like, because if you don't vote, then you are voting. When you don't vote, I really believe that because the person that you really don't want in there is going to get in there. Now you got one side that's telling you we don't want you to have health care, none, nada. We want you to go. They don't have nothing to replace it with, and they want you to go back to the way it was. It's not sustaining because an ER visit is more than a doctor's visit. A ER visit might as well be an overnight stay in a hospital for something major like heart concerns or something or a major surgery, and they just can't sustain it. But they're going to take when they have the power. I know a lot of people don't like Democrats. I ain't trying to change you, Champion Hart. You know I can't. I know I can't. But the Republicans saying that they're going to get rid of it.
Uh-huh.
Now, me, Lisa, and Yolanda, we good for life. For life. It ain't gonna bother me. I ain't never worried about it. And I don't have no cap. I got heart issues, everything, and my stuff is expensive. I don't have no cap. But what about the person who don't have it like me? What are they gonna do? That's
Right. You all are all military background, is that right?
right. We
Correct.
are
Correct.
retired.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay. But
we
this is.
I'll go ahead. I'm
Go ahead.
sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I
What were you
was
about
just
to say?
we're not gonna have no issues. So that's
Right.
why I can't side with people who wants to in your face hurt you. And that's what I call hurt. Because one thing for certain and two things for sure, you can't have a country full of destitute people because even if you're living good, you won't be for long. Because when a person is destitute, guess what? They don't mind hitting you across the head, taking what you got because they're destitute.
Mm-hmm.
You need to build the middle class. The Republicans are not interested in building the middle class. I'm not saying the Democrats are all that. I think all of them lie. But I'm looking at the people who really is going to cause you damage. And that's why, I try to be engaged with things to help the country. I'm not going to get stuck on one thing. I'm looking at everything in totality.
And you think the Democrats haven't caused damage? Really?
I do think, no, I never say that. I never say
Oh,
that.
okay.
A
All
lot of
right.
people hate Democrats. They
Okay.
think you rock with them, that you think that they're pure. I don't think that they're pure. I think,
Mm.
a matter of fact, Democrats were like the beginning stages of Ku Klux Klan and all them. It wasn't until Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 64 and 65 that they all moved over the Dixiecrats over to the Republican side. So those people still exist, but
You
they're
know he didn't want to do that.
he didn't, but he did.
No.
He didn't, but he did. I see. I don't even look at it. Don't matter what they did. Good.
Right.
Abraham Lincoln wanted to fight the war without freeing slaves, but he did.
Right.
See, I can't get. That's why I say I don't ever try to get stuck on one
Mm.
little issue. I gotta look at the broader issue. He said if I
Mm.
could win the war without freeing the slaves, I would. Abraham Lincoln,
Right.
but he did free us. So we got to move
Yeah.
past it and rock with
Yeah.
what happened.
Well, we're not about to go into the political thing. We can
Oh
go
yeah,
on and on with that.
yeah. Yeah.
But no, but no, I'm gonna say this real quick, and then I gotta go. I think you all are misunderstanding me. I'm not saying that that I'm against the vaccine. I'm for that. I've had vaccines, so I'm not saying I'm against it, but this particular thing, what I'm saying, there's an agenda attached to it, and that's what concerns me. Dr. Christina Parks says that you would not hook up a ventilator to a someone who has the flu because of the respiratory issues that they're having. She said you hook them up to a ventilator, that kills them. So this virus is attached to respiratory. Why are they hooking these people up to ventilators?
And then they wind up
And then they wind up dead. See what I'm saying? So, something's going on. Something is going on. And everybody says, "Oh, it's you got all these conspiracy people." Well, it's not a conspiracy when it's not a conspiracy anymore when it becomes a fact. So, my thing is, something's going on. I'm fighting to the end. All the way, kicking and screaming. I'm just not going go down there and let them pump that shit in my arm just because they say this, say that. No, I'm kicking and screaming because my immune system is fine, and you're not gonna. It almost sounds like back when the slave master would tell the slave would say, "Boss, we sick? Yeah, we sick." You know what I'm saying? Now the slave's feeling fine, but because the master is sick, he say, the slave say, "Boss, we sick," and he say, "Yeah, we sick." So that's the same comparison. You're not gonna tell me, what I'm saying, that I'm sick. When you're sick. You know what I'm saying? When you're not feeling good. When something's wrong with your body. Because if you're in tune with your body, then you know this.
We feel you, Champion Heart, and we respect your opinion. Y'all, for the record, this my dude right here. This my boo boo.
It's all love. It's all love.
I ain't different something, but that's my boo right there.
Yeah, this is a
Well,
healthy debate to hear the other side of the aisle of
right.
person that feels strongly about not receiving the vaccine. So it's good, good to hear the other side of the aisle, and
Right.
to really I understand like the position of someone that doesn't want to get the vaccine. So I appreciate hearing that side of it.
Yep.
Most definitely. Most definitely. You know, I'm always this is a good bill tonight. You know, I'm listening to you ladies, and this is definitely a good bill. But I just wanted to hop in and, you know, kind of just get off a few things. But
We
go ahead.
always,
I'm trying to say.
we always love to hear your manly voice.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get this load where it's gotta go. All right, much love to you. Nice talking to you, ladies.
All right, good night.
Good
All
night.
right,
I appreciate you, Champion
Good
Harvey.
night.
About
all
that.
right.
Yeah. So let me get some of these chats. Sensory Pictures say, so what about the 200,000 adverse reactions? Death that will happen no matter what. Like I think one of you guys said that with all vaccinations, there's risk. There's always is. I do believe Trump ignored the signs earlier. Yeah, he didn't have a clue on how to handle it. Trump never even cared about the environment, so he really set us back years. Just as an opinion, there's things he could have did. Would he have prevented all deaths? No, but he definitely lacked in his approach and his response. And when you're an adult, you have a job, you're supposed to be on the job. And so he wasn't doing his job. Vaccines were advanced stage to work. I took Pfizer. I think I took Pfizer too. Sir Ampo say never trust a government rush job ever. And what I was trying to say about that COVID has been around since the 60s. So they have tested it out to the wazoo. Do I think that they released that on purpose? I can rock with that theory. But like I said, once it got here, it got here. Ronald Finkley said, what I don't get is the caller assuming it's just to kill us because everyone taking it. Okay, Ronald, this is my first day. And he said, interesting. Sir Ampo said, they said the virus is coming for blacks, though, laugh out loud, we have high chance of catching it. Remember, come on, you remember. And then you say you learn different things every day. I got some more chats, ladies. Hold on one second. Sir Ambo said, we're superior physical Homo sapiens, high sodium for the poor. I'm thankful for medical care. It's a must here. And still almost normal, but health is important. And why one gotta be anti-cuz shit suspect. It's a fake idea that nobody trusts each other. And I'm gonna get back to the Ampo. Well, I'm gonna ask you anti. I'm gonna answer anti. Anti could be how we feel that somebody who's against it feel. They could feel that we're anti. So it's anti, and then it's for. You have to take off your shoes. So in that case, now you have an alienated yourself from the majority of the area. Did any of you read the CDC project charter? Project charter. That's how familiar I am. I saw it before, and as they rolled out the protocols and vax, most of us sound like media. I just know if they're killing me, they're killing others in this case. And I still got a couple of more. I'm sorry. I'm leaving my kids out of it, but that's also in the situation. Politics, voting local is more substantially beneficial. Have a good day. Yes, politics, voting local and high, but really local is what going to help you individually. There's an agenda attached to it. That's my concern, and it may be. But Yolanda, you want to chime in?
I would just say, as I said earlier, that I had studied COVID, and what really fascinated me about this whole pandemic was how inconsistent the governing guidance is. So if you actually read the president's guidance, it says that it's highly recommended that each state creates a program for itself. So the onus is put on that state to develop some kind of protective program for itself. If you read the White House guidance, it did not mandate the wearing a mask. It did not mandate all of this. What it said was it's recommended. So as you see, I know in the state, I'm in Missouri, And our governors and our county executives have authority to make guidance for their different jurisdictions. So we have some jurisdictions that may have mandated masks. I live in O'Fallon, Missouri. It is highly recommended that you wear a mask. So as I travel throughout my state, I see where some people are wearing masks, and I mean, it looks like, it's something going on. It's a real pandemic, and then you go into other areas, and people are walking freely. So I think there's some misunderstanding about what actually has been mandated and what has been highly recommended.
Yes. And for me, that is the one thing that people protest and be anti against wearing a mask that I do not understand. I can't feel it's not hurting you to put on the mask. In fact, you're gonna find, like I just learned, um, having allergies like I do, getting sick. You guys know I've stayed in the emergency room just because I'm gonna have to say now because of being in contact with people. You don't even realize you spit when you talk. Um, you in people face and stuff. And some people bodies can handle it, some people can't. I get allergies bad. I catch like I don't know what it is. Like I have problems where I swell up because of a reaction, like allergic reaction, where it could be fatal for me because my throat closes up and stuff. And I got tired of staying in the ER. But you know what? Since we've been in this pandemic, I don't have those problems no more. So what conclusion can I draw? Wearing a mask is beneficial, pandemic or not, Lisa?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you when you made the comment earlier. Actually, I was thinking about it earlier this week. Since we have been wearing masks, I'm about to knock on wood. I have not gotten a cold. I have not, of course, the springtime, you have your pollen allergies have subsided. Um, it has been so beneficial to wear a mask. Yes, it can be a little annoying when you're in the car and you're like, okay, God, I forgot to put the mask on, getting in and out of the car when you're trying to run your errands. But from a health perspective, for me, for 2 years, literally, to not have to have a cold, not have to, worry about getting sick and to have allergies. I'm seeing the benefits of wearing a mask. And I always laugh now when I saw the pictures, when I reflect on seeing pictures of the Chinese and Japanese community of people walking around with masks. And I always thought they looked so weird, how they always walked around with masks prior to COVID. They
Mm-hmm.
always walked around with masks.
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand because
Understand.
it keeps you from being sick.
Exactly. Butter? Butter?
I'm here. I'm just making noise in the kitchen. I didn't want
No.
y'all to hear it.
What you think about the mask and stuff like that? Is
I
that too
mean,
much to ask?
she's right because like I said, even when you go get your nails done or whatever, they wear a mask. They go about particles and germs. I'm a nurse. We wear a mask. It doesn't matter. Keep yourself from getting sick. You got the plague. They wore a mask. This has been going on for centuries. People have not been acknowledging the fact of somebody that can cough normally can get you sick. That's besides COVID. People always say cough into your arm or wherever. Like she says, like everybody been wearing masks forever. We just weren't paying attention to the signs. When I first really paid attention to, one of the signs was it's an app on iPhones or maybe even drawers, but definitely on that Snapchat. It's a diamond mask or any type of mask with some ears or whatever that they'll have you like take pictures for like beautifications or whatever. That was right before we end up finding out that we were going to be exposed to COVID. So now they don't even have that app out anymore.
Mm. Yeah, I remember that too, Lisa. And but I used to watch people in Asian countries, and I'd be like, was not all of them, like you said, but they've had different types of epidemics. I'm gonna call it epidemic of their own
Epidemic,
country.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, well, yeah.
and
There's different types of illnesses. They always did that.
wore
They
masks.
always did.
They wore masks, and you'll see a group of them. Like you can look at them walking downtown, and some of them will have masks on, some didn't. And I used to be like, "Ooh, that's gotta suck. You just always got a mask on when you come outside. It ain't a big deal." So in the chat, I would love to ask: is it a big deal to ask people to wear a mask? I mean, I realize that it's gonna take a minute. It's a chat. In the chat is a delay a little bit. Sir, huh?
They actually got me wearing it as a part of a costume. I can't even wait to match up my outfit with one.
She said, "Yeah, because they make them. You got enough to wear with every outfit." Sir Ampo said, "I don't understand anti-maskers."
Even gloves.
That's a good one too. I keep hand sanitizers in my car and different types of masks. Sir Ampo said, "Put that shit on. Put on them." Ronald Finkley said, "I'm back. It's not too much going on. I'm chilling." And Ronald Finkley said, "Good info, ladies and gentlemen." He also said, "Well, isn't the idea if they got both shots and boosters, they don't have a mask?" But Ronald, this is when that conversation into misdirected anger. Not saying you're angry, but people get angry about this. It's misdirected. It's manufactured. If you get the shot and booster, which it never claimed it cured nothing, why is that added extra step of wearing a mask? Because we know a lot of people ain't getting vaccinated, but all of us can wear a mask.
And not only that,
It's
become
the kids. A lot of kids are going to school, are getting sick, and a lot of them aren't wearing masks.
Okay.
I feel like they should actually distribute them as the children come into the building. I mean, hell, it's part of school supplies. But or you never know. Somebody could contaminate those and give it to the children. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I don't have a child in school. But there are kids dying now more so than the adults.
Lisa?
Yeah, I was going to say that wearing masks, as you say, like just like UT, I keep hand sanitizer in my car. So before I take the mask off, the first thing I grab is my hand sanitizer because I've been in and out of stores. I've been touching different products. I don't know who's been touching those products. So wearing a mask is a part of our daily routine. It's our new normal. So if it's become part of your new normal, as also washing your hands should be a part of your daily routine when you're in the bathroom. If it's a part of your daily routine, it becomes second nature now to put a mask on. So I don't think, for me, it's not too much to ask because we've been doing it for 2 years. So it's become a daily routine to make sure there's a mask in the car, make sure there's extra in the car, make sure your child, if you have children, they have a mask on, because at the end of the day, you're going to make sure that they're safe. You're going to make sure their safety belt is put on. You're going to make sure that you're doing the things to make sure you prolong your life. So you're here longer, so your children are here longer. You're going to do what's necessary as a parent, as a responsible adult, to make sure that you do any and everything that you can think of to say, okay, am I doing what I need to do to make sure I'm protecting myself? If that's just wearing a mask, vaccinate or unvax, I'm just gonna make sure I can wear a mask. I can do that. They ain't asking me to get a shot because we don't know what's in it. They conceded to that. Cool. But I can compromise, and I'm talking unvax at this point, to reach a happy compromise and say, okay, we've negotiated, we've come to a compromise. Can you at least wear a mask? I think it's unreasonable for us to at least agree that a mask is something that we can all wear at this point.
Yeah.
Because at a minimum, the flu rate, the rate of colds have at least gone down. So we can all agree that the mask is effective in preventing people from catching colds and everything, the everyday illnesses in the winter and different things like that, allergies in the spring. That has decreased the amount of those different ailments and illnesses that have happened throughout these last 2 years.
And a decrease in medical care
Exactly.
is a gain. Yolanda?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, did you want to speak on that? After you speak on that, then we're gonna get the closing arguments.
Okay,
Yolanda,
so
on the mask.
you want me to speak on mask?
Yeah, like, but then after that, go ahead into, your closing statement or whatever.
Okay. So as I said, I have seen where inconsistencies coming from our federal government, the guidance has impacted us just across our country. There's recommendations, there's mandates, and until we as a country get on board, I don't think we will ever be able to get rid of this virus. It's going to continue to mutate out of control. So we just have to do our part. And I just support whatever your decision is. Hey, I support it.
Exactly. You got any closing arguments, Yolanda?
No, I'm grateful. Thank you for the opportunity to come on here and just spend this time with you guys. I've enjoyed myself.
Okay. And I'm gonna give everybody a closing statement. Lisa, going back.
I just want to echo what Yolanda said. I appreciate this. This has been a healthy debate. I love hearing from the anti-vaxxer. Can't think of his name right now. He had a nice little handle there. Champion Heart. There it is.
Yeah.
So I'd like to, to hear the other side to see what their mindset is. So I appreciate the dialogue that we had. It was really, 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 really enlightening. So thank everybody for the conversation.
Butter, closing arguments.
Everybody out there, just be safe. Love your family, take care of your family. Stay prayed up, pretty much at this point.
Exactly. And I would like to thank all the ladies, Butter, Yolanda, and Champion Heart, and other and those of you in the chat for joining in. It's a touchy subject, but we did a good job, right? We handled ourselves amicably, and we didn't talk about some funny stuff. I put in, at the risk of getting warned, the earthquake, but somebody snuck and taped that. That wasn't like no official tape. That was somebody else taping that. I thought it was funny, and I would suggest to you guys to go look at Vlad TV, where Earthquake gave a full interview. I loved his interview. I look at him differently. Not that I thought of him bad. He was always funny to me, but he talked about a lot of stuff, government stuff, his perception of how things are in the country today. He's an ex-military person. He was in the Air Force, and he had a very important job in the Air Force concerning nukes and everything. So I would suggest everybody go check out that Vlad interview. Vlad doesn't pay me, but I will rep anything that was good. And so thank everybody for coming in. Thank you, Champion Heart, my brother. You know I love you. And we can all agree to disagree amicably. That's how we like to do it over here at Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm going to get some of these chats, and then we're going to roll out. Sir Ampo say they call it a booster, like Jumbo Juice, selling hard, stocks through the roof. People going to always make money. It's almost like, Sir Ampo, like if you invent something, and you might have a good cause to invent it, somebody going to find a negative way to use it. I have not got the booster yet, but my girl travels, so now me and daughter might soon. We all vaxxed up in here. Shout outs to you, Ronald. I figured might as well keep going forward. Might as well. You can't travel on planes without all three. Oh. So a trip like I like to take to Vegas for these boxing matches, I'm going to be shit out of luck if I don't have all my vaccinations. I can't have nobody telling me no, because I ain't vaxxed. You can't travel on plane. Okay. He said, cool, peace. Sir Ampo said, You ladies were awesome. Salute. Love the show. Thank you. ATL Unanimous is in the building. Salute, Queens. What's up with you, King? You missed a good one. You're gonna have to look at this in the rerun. I thought you was in here earlier. Sir Ambrose say lies, still traveling. Maybe you want mineral flight line. Maybe you're on those type of planes. I don't know. JetBlue or something. I don't know. I don't want to put down no airline. I only fly Delta myself. But anyway, thank you guys for coming in, sharing your thoughts. And I think we was respectful, and that's what I love. Remember, when you know better, you do better. And so that's all we try to do. You make better decisions when you are more informed. Sir Ambo said business class, ma'am. I heard that. Sir Ambo, keep me on track. Anywho, let me take myself off to the avatar. Y'all know on Fridays what I get down with. I just don't want to put it on TV. So anyway, when you know better, you do better. And I'm gonna say peace. Rock out with the song.